The feeling to me is like graduation. Like, you know, the show is, it's run its course, and it's a good time, I think.
It's going to be the Monday morning, not getting up at 4:30. That's going to be, which, by the way, I'm greatly looking forward to. That's going to be the odd part, but so far I'm still still coming to terms with it. Very odd, very odd.
I think the ending is just perfect, and I hope the fans think so as well. And even if some people don't think so, I think this is exactly how David Shore wanted it to end, and that's really all that matters.
I don't want to lose this time with you.
I have faith in David. I think it will be true to our show. I think we're going to go out in the right way. I think it'll be a shock.
Just let go. Just go to sleep.
It kind of has many elements of what we enjoyed about House, which is, sort of turning things on their head and pulling the rug out from under the audience and doing what they don't expect, but doing it in a way that feels right and true. I didn't have any idea how we would end it. You know, every now and again ideas would pop in my head, but it actually, throughout the years, it wasn't that important. What was important was each individual episode and doing the stories properly. The show was never about the ending. It was never about that arc. It was about the internal episode arc. Eventually, you start thinking about it. You start, but I only really started thinking, every now and again something would pop in my head, but I never really sat down and formally thought about it until this year.
It is true to the character to keep a sort of logical, low-key progression of events. Nonetheless, the end is the end, and this has been a very substantial thing. It's a very substantial period of time for this character and for the show, and so you want to do something that will satisfy without being, without going too far and becoming melodramatic. That's because he's a very unmelodramatic character.
The series has constantly been give House challenges. That's standard dramatic structure. Place roadblocks in front of your protagonist. Put your protagonist into interesting and challenging situations. And we, in a way, took that to a higher level. Gave his best friend cancer and see how he reacts.
Is that our precious little bundle of tumor? They grow up so fast, don't they?
We drew that out over 4 episodes to explore it in its maximum way and explore when things appear to be going well and when things appear to not go well, and how does House react to that situation.
What are you doing?
My best friend has cancer. Cut me some slack.
Guy friendships are very strange. This is obviously, it's extreme. This guy, he's dying. I mean, you don't get much more extreme than that, so. Yeah, it's an interesting place to send those 2 characters into this place where one of them is saying, I'm in Waiting for Godot. I'm on windswept, empty plain, and I have nothing left, and you're playing games.
Articulate certain things, but they're things he's always felt, I think. I don't think they're new to him. They're just, the expression of them is new. And the expression of his love for and need for Wilson is new to him. He had, for a decade or so, just found very twisted ways of expressing it, and now he's trying to straighten those.
Expects to be surprised by House's attitude towards something. So you have to surprise someone who's expecting to be surprised. That was always the challenge with the show in general. And it was the same thing with the light bulb moments. People expect House to get a light bulb, but how do we do that, and where does it come from, and how do you surprise someone who's expecting to be surprised? When we had the idea for the final episode, it also felt like a great opportunity to bring back people who had been on the show before. And I reached out to them, and almost everyone I reached out to was really excited to have a chance to be here one more time and to say goodbye. And so that was really cool. It was really cool getting to work with these people again.
I think they're pulling a body out.
The first time I read the funeral scene and it's the finality, like, wow, House really basically killed himself. I wasn't expecting more, but I was like, really? Just sort of in shock as I'm reading.
The philosophical bent that it took, I think, it is a philosophical episode in a way that I think that is sort of perfect for wrapping up House, because he ruminates intensely throughout, and I think that that's a fitting way to go. And then there's the real drama and the surprise at the end that was just a wonderful way to end the show.
Ending's so hopeful, which is nice. I feel like sometimes it's always like, everybody lies, I'm jaded, no one changes,
Right.
And it's like, oh no, you know, he made a choice, and I feel like his actions define how he feels. Like, maybe he's not the best at expressing them verbally, but I think most definitely in his actions, even though he's a complicated, emotional, non-emotional character.
Everybody can interpret it the way they want to, which is wonderful, I think. You know, I think that it is hopeful, and I also think that he did make the right choice. Some people may not think that, but I do. I think he made the right choice, and I think he did what he had to do to spend that time with his best friend.
Childish and this sort of thing, and in a childish way, he was completely selfless to be there for Wilson. So I thought that was beautiful.
Yeah.
Dying is boring. It's the puzzle that's interesting, you know. And if the puzzle involves cheating death, then I guess it's interesting. Actually needs it. I mean, it's probably the most sort of humanistic trait that we've seen from him. He chooses, and that's really important.
I'm dead, Wilson. How do you want to spend your last 5 months?
I think there is something very beautiful about House renouncing all his worldly goods and his career and his life up to this point for the sake of his friendship with Wilson. Wilson is...
8 years is a long time. Who knows what we'll miss? I have no idea. This week I miss sleeping, not needing amoxicillin, and my dogs. Next week I might miss Hugh Laurie. I'll let you know. I already miss Olivia Wilde.
It's kind of like breaking up with your girlfriend. That's what it feels like. You feel like you've had so much, you know, that you've gotten out of it, yet it has to end. You emotionally rely on it, but you have to cut it off. It's all that sort of stuff. So we're all going through a breakup right now, which is good. It's bittersweet, you know.
There's like many phases of like trying to fit in and like trying to get the work done and like trying to make friends with the people you're working with, and now it's like, oh God, it's ending. The fear of losing these friendships that you've gained throughout this whole year.
You know it's ending, and you know this is the last time you're gonna get to spend with these people. I mean, maybe not. Maybe you'll go on and work with some people, you know, in the future, but I think everybody is putting their best foot forward and hope that the fans love it as much as I think we all love it.
I'm satisfied with the series, and I'm satisfied with the ending. I think too much focus gets put on the ending. It's not
going to be that sort of an ending where people go, oh my God, it just sort of flips, and it was all a dream, or the whole thing's flipped upside down.
You know, this has been incredibly special. This has been an incredible ride, and it's been incredibly personal. I was excited about the reality of it, the reality of getting this character on the air and being able to tell my stories through this character was enough. Anything else was just crazy and out of my control. Just the mere fact is able to. So the success kind of blindsided me and is irrelevant and yet bizarre and weird and wonderful.
Some people tend to think of this character as someone who is mean and sardonic, and but possibly he's a bully from time to time, and all of that may be true, but he's also a gigantic child. He's playful. He delights in the absurd, the practical joke, puns, the sort of wordplay that very often delights children. It pleases him very much, and that sort of childish playfulness I find completely charming and has always made me love him very deeply. And I will continue to do so, and I'll miss him a lot. I will miss him a lot.